Hello, everyone. Welcome to howtotrade.com. I'm Shane Vernier, and this is the U.S. Mid-Session Brief. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what I see as being an incredibly violent crypto market. We've got some new friends popping in from the upper Midwest today, so I want to give a big shout-out to them. They know who they are, but also everybody's still in the room. That's fantastic. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. We're going to have to start off with a little bit of I won't start on a somber note, I won't say, but we have to address the elephant in the room. Bobby Bob, good to see you. Mark Corp, always a pleasure, guys. You guys are absolutely fantastic, and thank you for watching. As we move forward here at How to Trade, things are going to change. Things are going to change a little bit, and, sort of an old lesson that my mother taught me was life's about change and nothing ever stays the same. Connor, Big C, I call him Big C, but he's going to go ahead and move on to pursue other endeavors. We talked about this yesterday a little bit, but I've got a lot of questions. I've got a lot of questions about Connor's future, and I will tell you that it's very bright. It's very bright, and he will certainly be in the markets, believe me. So the next time you take a Euro USD trade or a Great Britain Pound USD trade, Connor might be on the other side of it. Who knows? But, he's going to go ahead and leave, and this will be his last week here. If you have any questions at all for Connor about smart money concepts or anything that you want to know that really his expertise, his wheelhouse, be sure to ask this week because after that, he's going to go. It'll be a one-man band. It'll be me. We think we're going to add some live streams to sort of do our best to service. I know a lot of you guys are in the UK and you're in Europe, so it's sort of hard to stay up late and watch me, or it's dinner time or whatever, and I understand. So we're going to start working with our scheduling. We're going to see exactly how we can best service the clientele and exactly do our best to fill that void because Connor will be missed. But the markets go on, life goes on, and we'll do our best. We'll do the best we can to make sure that we can give you a product that's worthy of you tuning in. So good to see everybody out there. T. Marina Tucker, afternoon all. Good afternoon, T. Marina. T. Marina must be on the East Coast. Excuse me. It's about 11 o'clock my time. I'm in Mountain Time, so you're probably 1 p.m. Let's talk trading. Mark Corp, Bobby Bob, always a pleasure, guys. Right here, Dogecoin, right? So a lot of folks thought that Doge was dead. Right there, you see incredible compression, then a break, and then a pullback. The pullback is really what I want to focus on. Now, you saw it really sort of basing out right around 5 cents. Compression. Now, what makes these things attractive is everybody can afford 5 cents. Everybody watching this has a pocket full of 5 cents. I mean, you pull out a few bucks and buy a bunch of Doge. Okay, that's great. That gets everybody involved. That's what we call getting market participation, get people drawn into the market. Well, right there, compression, break. Look at the break, though. Then we're going to go to a different time frame here in a second, but the break is big. The pullback. Sometimes if we wait, if you bought right there, you weren't wrong. You're buying 22 cents for a Doge. I mean, you still have doubled up your money, but if you wait just a little bit, you're probably going to be I would say better served. I think that you're going to have an opportunity to make a lot more money. For me, the trades that really work are the ones that I have to wait on. And I have to wait. Let me see. T. Marina, I am in D.C., Washington, D.C. Wow, you're on K Street? The highest, I believe the highest, well, it's not conglomeration, but it's like concentration. The highest concentration of millionaires ever is in that North Virginia area, right, bordering on D.C. So, T. Marina, I hope you're doing very, very well. Fantastic stuff. What I would like to point out with Doge, though, is we just talked about buying pullbacks, and that's all fantastic. Take a look at this, though. I mean, this is a legitimate P formation, and there's your move, there's your run, there's your rotate. What do you think's happening next? We're going higher. We're going a lot higher. So when we look at this chart and we say, okay, where do I want to buy, though? I mean, do I want to buy Doge right now? And it's like, that's tough. My weapon of choice is the Fibonacci retracement tool right there, 35 even, 35.05. It's going to be tough to lose if you bid there. Also, if you want to wait, you want to say, hey, Shane, I don't know about that 38% level. If you do see a big sell-off, 27.07 cents. So you could pull out, just a few bucks. You pull out a few bucks, buy a bunch of Doge. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. I like it. I think that you're going to see Dogecoin. One of my favorites was Shiba. That's Ethereum right there, but Shiba was one of my favorites, and you'll notice that the chart's the same. It's all the same. Crypto right now is in a bull market. Why? Because Gary Gensler's stepping down at the SEC, because we believe that you're going to see deregulation and you're going to see crypto experience an incredible inflow of cash. That's what it's all about, guys. I mean, it's not really if you have a good product or not. It's more about, what do you want to do? What does the world want to do? They want to buy crypto. Why? Because it makes everybody rich fast, right? I will tell you this. At one point I had like 5 or 10, I think I had 8 Bitcoin, and I cashed them all in. I was gambling offshore. I would, that's how you would do it. You'd work crypto, get your money into the sports book and out of the sports book. And so at one point I came off a big win. I had like 8 Bitcoin, sold them immediately, took the money. I don't know what the hell a Bitcoin is. I will tell you right now that they're worth a fortune. But it's a good lesson, man. What you don't do is you don't ever look back. I mean, if you're gonna spend your time looking back and saying, "Hey, why didn't I just know the lottery numbers? Why not just know the Powerball numbers?" That's what I love about speculation. Is what we do is it's unique in that you have an opportunity to make money, and you can sit down here every day, make money every day, and we've talked about all these psychology. But what you don't really understand is that you don't know what's going to happen, no matter how great your strategy is. We've been talking crossovers. We've been talking, TPO charts. We've been talking all this stuff. You have to understand the only thing that you can control is how much money you lose. That's it. That's why I always go to stop loss. So like right here, if we're going to talk Shiba, you want to short Shiba like on some sort of CFD, I don't have a problem with it. Just know where you have to get out. As soon as that swing high is gone, you have to get out. You cannot wait. If you want to buy, bid it right now. 50% retracement. I wouldn't buy right now. I would wait right there. That's when you buy Shiba. Full disclosure. Geez, let's pull up a monthly. I'll show you exactly where I was long Shiba from. Right in there. I was long from about 7.5 1/1000ths of a cent. How do you justify buying right now? You can't really. This is a good illustration of exactly what happens in markets, though. Bam. Huge run up, pull back, bam. What do you got? Big month, pulling back now. Is it time to buy or is it time to sell? Neither. And unfortunately, that's typically when we pull most charts and we start understanding how to trade that you're going to be on your hands most of the time. Bren, good to see you. Always a pleasure. Bren98. All right, Switch Markets. If you guys want to trade, go ahead and check out Switch. I think Switch can get you into some pretty good stuff. But the reason why we're talking about this is Black Friday. Black Friday is Friday. 100% bonus. $2 a lot cash back in an iPhone 16. It's fantastic. I don't have an iPhone 16. I don't know what I have exactly, but it takes calls. It'll work. But get it on the giveaway. If you're interested in opening a brokerage account, be sure to check out Switch. Okay, this is the number one thing that I'm looking at. I'm looking at poly market almost every day now. We talked about the chances of a nuclear strike yesterday. I'm not going to bum everybody out. Nothing's changed. Tensions probably ratcheted up one more day, but take a look at some of these markets they have out there. A Fed decision in December, and that's really what I want to focus on here, because a lot of people believe that you're going to see a big-time rate cut, and that's just not true. You can see the market right here. I know it just looks like a bunch of squiggly lines, but a 25 basis point decrease, that's in blue. So we're looking for about a quarter-point rate cut at the December meeting. We'll have it live for you here. We'll do all the dirty work. I'll do my best to not bury Jay Powell. We'll see what happens. But, no change at 38%. That's fascinating. That's fascinating because if you look at just a month ago, there was a 0% chance that we were going to hold rates firm, and now you're looking at about a 60-40. So, when we start looking at a 60-40, what does that mean? What does that mean to the markets? Well, to the U.S. dollar, here's exactly what it means. And this is a Forex strategy session, so we're going to talk a lot of Forex pairs right now. But what do you have here? Realistically, you got 2 big months. Bam, bam. It all pretty much revolves around the Trump administration being sworn into office. Hasn't happened yet. A lot of us believe that you're going to see some real trials and tribulations. But it really was a landslide victory here in the United States. It was just a huge number of votes. Congress went red. Trump was elected. There's been a lot of vote counting in the last month that made sure that his popular vote came down under 50%. A lot of us call shenanigans on that, but I will say this is this stronger dollar right here. The narrative is going to be tariffs. It's going to be, well, we had inflation under control, but hey, the tariffs and your new economic policies sort of messed us up. We all know darn good and well, right there's COVID, right there. See the price action? Nobody knows what the hell's going on. Then you get the big sell-off, and then you get the big rally. What do you have right now? You have the most decisive move since you saw back when we started hiking interest rates, or we believed interest rates were going up. You can see right there. We're going back to 2022. This is a breakout. This is a full-blown breakout on the USD. If I'm trading Forex majors, I recommend expanding your portfolio into minors and crosses. But if you're trading the majors, I wouldn't be playing around with the US dollar right now. I mean, look I can give you 50 reasons to buy the pound. Do we want to do it? God, I don't know. I mean, if you want to scalp, you can scalp. If you want to scalp, you can scalp. I never have any heat with anybody that has their scalping levels down. They know exactly what they're going to risk. I would be watching this spike low very, very closely. The low right there is 120.37. Right now we're at 125.36. Shane, that's 500 pips away, and I go, it can happen fast. Be aware of this zone. This zone right here, more than likely, is going to pan out to be probably one of the bigger deals in the Great Britain Pound USD for the past, 3 years. Let's see. Let's mark it. There it is. Is it a supply zone or a demand zone? We just put out a video on liquidity zones. We talked about liquidity, and we understood that there's a concentration of orders that are right beneath that doji. Are they institutional orders or are they retail? More than likely, price is going to trade down in here, and you're going to see the retail guys all go along from this zone. You really will. What's going to happen typically? What does the market do to people every time? And every single one of you know what I'm talking about. You get stopped out by a pip or 2 pips or 3 pips, and then the market reverses in your favor. What do you think is going to happen down here? This. Well, okay, that's not fair. Let's go ahead and let's do that again. You're going to see some action right there, right around that swing low. You're going to run all those stops. Will the market continue down or will it reverse? That's what everybody wants to know. And, to be brutally honest with you, probably going to reverse. So that level right there, certainly a big deal. This level right here, of course it's a big deal. I'm a bidder right there. That spike low. Spike low is right there at 122.99. Do you think this is a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. It's a big round number. It's 123 even. So I would bid 123.05s, probably cash out, only looking for 25 to 50, maybe 75 pips. But what we're not looking to do is we're not looking to call the market. We don't believe that that's going to be the bottom and that we're going to continue up and, never land up there at 1.5 because it's just not true. You're going to see this currency settle in. The pound is a strong currency. The dollar is a strong currency right now. You're going to see some real action in there. So remember, you don't always have – listen, you guys, you don't always have to be right or wrong. You don't have to say up or down right now. What? Who cares? It's enough to make money just if price stops and we get a little friction between the buyers and sellers. That's what it's all about. That's trading. In my view, that's trading. Now, a lot of folks are going to sit around and go, okay, that's a 1 to 5. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go Elliott wave, bang, 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 bang. And we think that the market's going to trade back up to 150. And you may be right. You really may be right, but it may also take you 3 years to get there. Most valuable commodity in this world's time? Well, information too. But time and information are the only things that really matter. Who has time to sit around for 1.5 years for that thing to come in? I don't. You guys don't. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now, You see the massive pullback. We're going to have a trade ID out here relatively soon, about the next hour, maybe 2 hours. We'll see. I want these markets to settle down a little bit because what we're seeing right now is really chaotic. Flat. We're going to actually work a pendulum trade here in a second on one of the indices, but those indices right now are just they're flat. It's whipsaw. There's nothing there. And sometimes not trading is the best thing you can possibly do. So Bitcoin right now, what do you think? Is it a bid or a sell from 92.9, 93? It's a bid. You have to bid it. You have to bid it. If you don't, bang, pull back, huge sell-off yesterday. War, we covered all of it yesterday. The biggest things that are happening in the markets right now is the war, Russia-Ukraine, bam. Is that a bid or is it a sell? It's a bid. Don't get fooled. When you dial down lower time frames, don't get fooled. Life's good if you're a Bitcoin bull. Ouch. You've had a tough day. What does it really mean, though? Bam, spike low, 3-week range. If I want to be long or short right now, I want to be long. If you're looking for a bid, 87, 350. Can't really go wrong down there. That's a fantastic bid. So I would be watching that relatively closely. I think that's some pretty good stuff for Bitcoin. The real question is how do you trade it? Are you doing it on cash exchanges? Are you doing CFDs? The problem with trading a Bitcoin CFD or even the Bitcoin minis, the future contract, is that it's just too damn expensive to try to hold that line. That's one of those times where I would really urge you to look at maybe a cash market, like an exchange. The problem is when we show up, with $5, $10, $15, $25, $30,000, whatever your trading stake is, $2,500, $1,000, whatever. We don't have the staying power that the big guys do. The big guys already bought. They bought the rotation down here. This is a good look at our 920 right there. What did you have? You had a crossover right in there. Were we oversold? Not really. When were we oversold? You got to go back like a year, 2 years. So we're definitely in a breakout. We're definitely in an uptrend. The real question is do I want to buy Bitcoin from 93,000 or do I want to wait? Wait. Market will come to you, 87.5. And you know what? If it doesn't come to you, don't worry about it. You missed the trade. It's no biggie. There's a lot of markets out here. And, we're going to talk about one that's going to be on fire a little bit later on tonight. And I think that there's incredible opportunities in something like the New Zealand dollar, the Kiwi. Take a look at this weekly. We're trending off. We've put in an incredible run at what I would call a historic level. And the markets always have a memory. So we're going to talk about that doji in detail right now. But we have to unpack why price could potentially get there. And what it's about is it's about the RBNZ. It's about central banking activity. It's about monetary policy and trying to figure out exactly what the powers that be want to do. And I could go off on a tangent probably for 3 hours here talking about the new administration, this, that, or the other. We also have to trade, though. You don't get too bogged down with the minutia. Don't get bogged down with, the news cycle. I was a big news cycle yesterday. It was sort of a tough stream. A lot of folks didn't like that stream, but it was real. And when you start to see the market drivers interacting with price the way that they are, we could be in for some significant corrections. And understanding exactly where the market's going to go, not necessarily what we need to do as traders. We just need to know when it's going to move. That's it. And if you know when it's going to move, then we have an opportunity. So let me see. JC, what makes you say 87 versus 79? Okay, let's get back on over to Bitcoin. 87 right there. It's a good question, JC. Why bet that level instead of that level? And it comes down to mindset. How do I feel about Bitcoin? Bullish. Everybody's bullish right now. The bidders cannot wait to get into Bitcoin. What gives me the best chance of success if I want to buy Bitcoin? Well, you're in a breakout uptrend, 38% probably going to be great for a scalp. I would say buy 87.5s. Probably, I would be shocked if you don't get a bounce up to 91 and a half, something like that. Like a 2% gain. If you wanted to bid from right there, that's fine. But if you want to watch this market correct, wash out all the retail longs, and honestly, I mean, if you guys have ever played roulette, what happens in roulette sometimes? Okay, I got my bets, red, black, I got all my numbers out there, and then what happens? Green 0 or green 00. And they pull all the chips in. The markets are no different. You could easily see a plunge that wipes out all the retail longs, specifically those ones that are committed in the derivatives markets. If you're trading a Bitcoin CFD, you know how the leverage works. It hurts. That hurt this week. A lot of guys bought up here thinking we were going to go to 100. They understand the significance of 100,000. I've talked about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. If you get compression, then you get that break. The real question comes into, okay, how high are we going? And nobody knows. Nobody knows. What's a Bitcoin worth? Most of the old folks like me, we don't think it's worth anything. It's debatable. It's looking like it's worth a hell of a lot. What's the difference between $100,000 Bitcoin and $250,000 Bitcoin? In my view, zero. The fundamentals are going to be the same. Well, there's only 21 million of them, and good Lord, and then the hedge funds really are stockpiling these damn things. If, in fact, the hedge funds buy up the entire supply of Bitcoin, what is it worth? What's it worth? They're going to tell you what it's worth because it's in their best interest to make sure that it's worth a hell of a lot. So to answer your question, Jay, 87.5's money. If you want to be patient, 79. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? I would scalp right here from 87.5. I would not get left out of that pullback. Not a chance. I want to get in on that. But my profit margins, what I'm thinking about for a move, is a lot different from 38% than it is from 62. If we pull back down around 79, and listen, you could easily wipe 80,000 out. You're going to wipe everybody out. Nobody's taking a 20% haircut on these things. They're going to have to go ahead and just, we'll dive back in. Maybe Bitcoin's dead. But as volatile as this market, look at this weekly range. This weekly range, you're off 5.5%. Last week, you were up 9. The week before, you were up 11. I mean, this is incredibly volatile. This is what we want to see. We want to see this great big baggy range. Nobody knows what the hell the damn thing's worth. What's going to happen? There's going to be a lot of folks that believe it's going to 250 and a million, and it might do that. There's also a lot of guys that say that 100,000 is the top, and you're seeing those guys win the battle right now. Those ladies and gentlemen, I always say guys, but you know what I mean. That's what's happened. They've protected 100,000. Watch our key levels video. I talk a lot about it. It's not a coincidence that sellers dug in front of 100,000. It's a combination of profit taking, number one, and then also sellers saying, hey, what's my best bet? Does Bitcoin run to 125 or does it go back to 75? It's an interesting proposition, isn't it? The brokers come in, or and a lot of the options contracts dictate this policy. I mean, it's very easy. It's binary options. It's like saying, hey, listen, I'll bet you $1,000 right now that it goes to 125 before it goes to 75. And I would sit there and I would look at the technicals and I'd say, yeah, you're probably right. But a lot of folks would say, no, we're going to go ahead and hit 75 right there. Is 75 huge? Hell yes, it's huge. It's only $17,000 away, too. You're going to wipe out all the retail longs, and then where does Bitcoin go? I've talked with a lot of folks that are pretty smart about Bitcoin. Nobody knows what the hell it's worth. It might be worth zero. It might be worth $250,000. Nobody knows. Do you want to buy now? No. Trade location makes you better than the next trader. Wait for a pullback. You don't need to buy right now. If you bought right now, I would call it probably stupid money. You're the last one of the party, man. You're the 12th man on the sales team. You don't want to do that. Wait till it pulls back. Wait for this market to do something. And then we'll start having a conversation about if it's overvalued or undervalued. All right. We promised to talk about New Zealand, and I like New Zealand. Wizard Alvin, the powerful Wizard Alvin, has been a member of this room for a long, long time, since before I signed up about 3 years ago. And I'll tell you right now that is this an opportunity to trade tonight? This is the RBNZ. We're looking for potentially a 0.5 point rate cut. Now, we had some things come out today that were, you notice I don't even really cover the news anymore because it's all about Russia-Ukraine. This stuff doesn't matter. The CB Consumer Confidence Index doesn't matter. No one cares. Believe me, no one cares. New home sales, 610,000, beneath what was expected and the previous release. Everybody expected that. Doesn't matter. It's not hurting you. What is going to be interesting, though, FOMC minutes, strange week, right? Tough week to trade. It's Thanksgiving week. Why would they have the FOMC minutes today as opposed to tomorrow in 33 minutes? Why? Thanksgiving's Thursday. All the rich guys want to go home. They don't want to work tomorrow. We're going to be working. We're going to be in the saddle watching these markets. FOMC minutes is today. We'll write something up a little bit later, but I'm not convinced you're going to learn anything really. RBNZ interest rate decision. That's what we want to talk about. It's about a 0.5 point rate cut. Looks to me like they're going to cut by a half. What does that mean? Well, it means that the New Zealand dollar is definitely in play. It's definitely in play. This is a sort of a trade idea that I'm working on for a little bit later today, but I do want to highlight this. This is a weekly chart. Let's go ahead and go to a monthly, sort of dial it back. And I know a lot of you guys are like, Shane, I'm tired of monthly charts. And I'm tired of them too, but this is the way the markets work. Your low right there is about 57.75-ish. What is that? It's 2023's low. What's this? 2022's low. So if you're interested in maybe taking a position on the New Zealand dollar, this is one of those things that I gave up on. And I don't give up easy. I'm a pretty tough guy. I don't quit. The New Zealand dollar was my pick to click last year, and it really didn't happen. We saw a bit of a rally, and we did some backslapping here a few months ago, but it's just not going anywhere. So the question is do we, in fact, go down and take those lows out? Well, if you start talking about interest rate cuts, 0.5 point, I don't think they're going to cut a half. I really don't. I think it's going to be more like a quarter. And if it's a quarter, then you're going to have an opportunity maybe to trade. And you'll have an opportunity maybe to trade the Kiwi, but probably the long side. So I love what's happening there. I think this spike low right there, I think you got a pretty good entry point right down there is about 57.73-ish. So I'd be looking at 79 bids. Maybe bidding 79 and maybe getting a little rotation back up in the 58 and a quarter, something like that. I can tell you what I don't see. I don't see this happening. I don't see us breaking through that zone. Now, you're like, well, how the hell do I trade that? I mean, it's just a huge zone. 57.75-ish, 55. I'm not telling anybody to wager 200 pips on that. But what I am saying is, listen, on a daily, take a look at your dailies. Don't ignore your dailies if you're trading Forex. That's what we want. Perfect world, that's what we want. We want a little bit of compression in our support zone, and then we'll look to get confirmation and bid the thing. Because from a practical point of view, it's going to be a hell of a time to be trading the Kiwi. And that's going to be a textbook long trade. You buy from those long-term support zones. You have an opportunity maybe to take a position and get in there and really make a little bit of money without any stress. I would be shocked if this zone is washed out. I really would. So something to think about there if you're trading the New Zealand dollar USD. There's one other pair that I wanted to cover here, and we're going to go ahead and sign off. But New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar. What do you want to do? Forget the last pair. Forget the last levels. Forget the last market analysis. This pair right now, what do you want to do? Breakouts on. Big 2 days. What does that give us? Gives us a chance to follow the prevailing trend. $90.25 is your sell. Why? Look at market structure. Bam, Broke out, lower Bollinger Band, trending, 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 and then we stop on a dime, we start bidding, bidding, bidding. Don't believe it. They're just selling 90.25. So something to think about there. If you are trading the Kiwi. One last thing that I will cover here today, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off because it's an interesting day. The minutes are going to be coming out here relatively soon. And you can see this is a good example of the minutes. You'll notice that it's just an incredible amount of text. FOMC minutes, incredible amount of text. Nobody knows what the hell any of it means. So what you're going to have to do as a trader later today, in about a half hour when it drops, is you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. Start watching what the mainstream media reports. The headlines are everything. That's the narrative that they want to pitch. Now, this is a key FOMC minutes release. And the reason why is we've pivoted from being sort of dovish, life's good, everything's great, to shit, we may not be able to cut rates next year. Pardon my language. I think that it's a state of flux. I think that World War III is weighing on everybody's minds. And I think that you're going to see potentially a big market move this afternoon based on the FOMC minutes. So we talked about how to trade the Kiwi. Talk about how to trade the dollar. Be very, very careful trading the dollar today. Very careful. Right now, the dollar index, we're printing about 107, 107 and a quarter. I can't see an FOMC minutes release where that doesn't come off. However, if they're unanimous, and you're going to hear words like we're going to see some compression in the jobs market, we're going to see some slowing of economic growth. If in fact that's the case, there's no limit on how high the dollar can go. I want to sell it right now, but you can't really do it. You can't really do it because the FOMC minutes, they may say, you know what? We're going to raise interest rates, and the markets are already pricing it. You can see it as plain as day. Look at we're not going to cover commodities today. We did yesterday, but I mean, gold, silver, crude oil. Crude oil is down again today, 68. I mean, seasonality, and they're looking for a stronger dollar. That's the bottom line. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I've rambled long enough, but what I will say is this. If you have any questions, swing by, ask me. This time of year, we're going to Thanksgiving week. I'll be brutally honest with you. I put my wallet away. I buy Christmas presents and buy turkeys and stuff. This is not the time of year to be taking huge risks. You will make more money from about the 15th of January through the end of March. You should make enough money in that 3 months, that 2.5 months, to where you don't have to trade the rest of the year. That's why everybody's here. There's no harder dollar earned than a trader's dollar. People laugh at me for that. There's no harder dollar earned than a trader's dollar because it's easy to make the dollars, but it's hard to make them stick in your hand. All right. That's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and I'll be back tomorrow. Once again, it's powerful Connor Woods. It's his farewell tour, so if you have any questions at all for him, make sure you hit him up this week. He wants to hear from you. He loves the messages. Be sure to weigh in with him. After next week, we're going to be doing some different things with the scheduling. I'll be here every day. I will be here every day. If you have any questions at all, or if you want to talk or whatever, be sure to reach out. I'm more than happy to help you if I can. Big day. Tomorrow is going to be fantastic. We're going to go early tomorrow, 8 a.m. And the reason why we're going to do that is because the liquidity is going to dry up tomorrow afternoon. Get ready. Let's get in the saddle. Let's get it done. All right, everybody. Trade the action well, and we'll talk soon. See you.